Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to a place where great minds come to learn and get inspired. My name is Charity Lawrence. So, a few nights ago, I was watching an interview of Oprah at Stanford Graduate School, and then it dawned on me that I had not yet talked about Oprah's success story on my channel, and it felt so wrong because Oprah is one of my greatest inspirations. So I decided that I was going to inspire you all with her story today. So if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, ensure you're subscribed to me right now. Believe me, it will be one of the best decisions you would ever make in your life. So who is Oprah Winfrey? Oprah Gail Winfrey was born on 29th of January 1954 in Mississippi. Oprah was the name on her birth certificate. Oprah as in the Oprah and Ruth in the book of Ruth. That was the name Oprah Winfrey was actually given, but people mispronounced her name and Oprah kind of stuck. So that's why her name is Oprah instead of Oprah. So she was born in Mississippi to an unmarried teenage mother, Venita Lee, who was a housemaid, and her father, Vernon Winfrey, was in the armed forces as of then, so he was not around. He was a coal miner. He later turned to be a barber, and then later on he was a city councilman. After Oprah was born, her mother traveled to the north, and Oprah had to spend the first 6 years of her life living with her grandmother, who was very, very poor. She was so poor that she used potato sack to make dresses for Oprah, and then the local children around where Oprah stayed would laugh at her. Her grandmother taught her to read before the age of 3 and took her to the local church where Oprah would recite Bible verses. So she was nicknamed the preacher because she could recite those Bible verses so well. As a child, Oprah's grandmother would hit her with a stick whenever she misbehaved or she didn't do a chore very well. Oprah later explained that her childhood was filled with so much abuse that no one should experience. When she got into kindergarten, she wrote a letter to her teacher on the first day of school, telling her teacher that she didn't belong here because she knew too many big words. And then she wrote down all the big words she knew, like hippopotamus and the rest of them. And then she gave it to the teacher. The teacher read the letter, took the letter to the head of the school. The head of the school read the letter and then called Oprah to her office and asked Oprah to spell those words out. Oprah spelled everything correctly, and then the head teacher, that's the head of the school, moved Oprah from kindergarten to grade 1, and she didn't even stay long in grade 1. She was moved to grade 2. At the age of 6, Oprah went to live with her mother, Venita Lee, in Milwaukee because her grandmother fell ill. Her mother was not as supportive and encouraging as her grandmother because the mother had to work long hours as a maid. From the ages of 9 to 13, Oprah was sexually abused by her cousin, her uncle, and a family friend. She ran away from home at the age of 13 because she was unable to bear the circumstances of her home life anymore. When Oprah was 14, she was living with her father at the time. She became pregnant as a result of sexual assault. The constant thought of her father saying he would rather have a dead daughter than a daughter that shamed him led Oprah to thinking of committing suicide. But before she could go through with her suicidal thoughts, she had a premature labor and gave birth to a premature baby boy, which she named Canaan. A few hours after she gave birth to the baby died. When the child died, her father told her that this was her second chance and opportunity. She should seize the moment and make something out of her life, and that was what she decided to do. Oprah was then enrolled in Lincoln High School, where she quickly distinguished herself with hard work and her obvious intelligence. Soon she was on the honored students list. By the time she had graduated, she was able to secure a scholarship using her excellent oratory skills. It was during Oprah's final year of high school that she got a taste of first working in the media. After winning a high school pageant, she secured a part-time job as a news anchor. She was just 17 at the time, but she continued to anchor at the WBOL as she continued her education at the Tennessee State University, where she studied communications. She worked there for up to 3 years. Then she was later hired at the WLOCT where she was the youngest anchor and the only black anchor. After graduation, Oprah moved to Baltimore's WJZ-TV at the age of 22 in 1976 to co-anchor the 6 o'clock news on a local station. But her co-anchor was very vocal about not liking Oprah, and the producers felt that she was too emotional in her reporting. One of the producers even told her that she was unfit for television news. She was fired 7 months after accepting the job, but she didn't let that discourage her. She remembered that every time she felt discriminated, marginalized, or put down, she told herself it won't be long. After taking up a couple of low-profile jobs, she moved to Chicago to anchor the AM talk show in 1984. At the time, the talk show had low ratings and it was not popular, but she saw it as a great opportunity because they offered her a salary of $225,000 per year, which was more money than she had ever thought she would ever make. Within months, Oprah transformed the show and it became the highest rated show in Chicago. She found out that her vulnerability was her greatest power, even though she has been criticized for this in her previous jobs. The movie critic Roger Ebert encouraged her to sign a syndication deal to make the show national, and this led to the creation of the Oprah Winfrey Show that debuted in September 1986. Very quickly, the Oprah Winfrey Show became the #1 daytime show in Chicago. Less than 10 years after starting the show, her net worth was $340 million, and she was the only African American that was featured on the Forbes First 400 list. By the year 2000, her net worth topped $800 million, making her the richest African American of the 20th century. In 2006, she was recognized as the highest paid television entertainer in the US with a yearly income of $260 million. Following the success of her show, Oprah ventured into other areas. She launched the O magazine in 2000. She also wrote several best-selling books and acted in some notable films. In 2011, she launched the Oprah Winfrey Network, a cable network that earlier struggled but later thrived. Today, she still owns about 25% of the network. She owns a 10% stake in Weight Watchers. She was listed as one of Forbes billionaires at the age of 49, becoming the first Black female billionaire. Oprah has also managed to give back to the society in a major way. She ranks amongst the first 50 most generous Americans. She donated to educational programs, scholarships, museums, disaster relief following the Hurricane Katrina. She opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa, where disadvantaged young women are given the opportunity to change their lives and the world. Through her Angel Network, which operated from 1998 to 2010, she accepted donations and redistributed them to non-profits and charitable causes. Oprah's Rags to Riches story shows us that no matter what you go through or what obstacles are placed in your path, you can be successful as long as you are intentional and you are focused. The best revenge is a life well lived. So use all the doubts and criticisms of others as fuel to push you forward on your path to greatness. Thank you for watching this episode. Remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'll see you all in my next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye.